Hello friends, welcome back to my classroom. In this class, I'll try to explain the concept of correlation and how to calculate the correlation between two random variables in a giant probability distribution. So correlation is just a measure of relationship between any two variables. So for example, let us take two variables x and y, and let us suppose that there is a change happening in x. Maybe x is x values are increasing or x value is decreasing. So corresponding to this change in x, is there any change happening y or not? This is the question. So if there is a relationship, the change in x corresponds to the change in y, then we say that they are correlated. Okay. So now in correlation, there could be positive correlation, there could be negative correlation, or there may not be any correlation between x and y. So what is positive correlation? Positive correlation means whenever x increases, y also increases, or whenever x decreases, y also decreases. Let us consider an example. Suppose x is height and y is weight. So what happens whenever height increases? Definitely weight will also increase. So definitely there is a relationship between x and y, and it is positive relationship, positive linear relationship. Okay, between x and y, between the height and weight, there is a positive correlation. And let us consider one example for negative correlation. What is negative correlation? Whenever x increases, y value decreases. Okay, so it goes in the opposite direction. X increases, y will decrease, and if x decreases, y will increase. Then we say there is a negative correlation between x and y. For example, let us take x is the time what we spend on watching TV or watching reels, etc. Okay, whenever the TV time increases, if we take y as our exam score, all right, our exam score will definitely decrease. All right, so x and y are negatively correlated here. All right, and there is a possibility that they are not at all connected. Okay, say for example, if I have x as the height and y as IQ of a person, all right. So if the person is very tall, doesn't mean that he has very good IQ. If x is, I mean height is very short, then that also doesn't mean that he has less IQ. Okay, so IQ is nothing to do with height of a person. So x and y are not correlated here. And now how to calculate the correlation? So to calculate the correlation, we need three things. So you can see this blue box for the formula for covariance. We need three things. One is covariance between x and y. That will be the numerator, and in the denominator we will have standard deviation of marginal distribution x and standard deviation of marginal distribution y. For the detailed explanation of how to calculate covariance and how to calculate standard deviation of a single random variable, you can check my previous videos. The links are available in the description box. Okay, so once you have the covariance between x and y and standard deviation of x and standard deviation of y, you can very easily calculate the correlation coefficient between x and y. And just note that the correlation coefficient, okay, I'll take it to the next slide. Always remember that correlation coefficient will always be between -1 and +1. So if the correlation is +1, or if correlation is positive value, if you get the positive value, the understanding is that the x and y are positively correlated. If rho value, if you get a negative value, they are negatively correlated. How strong or how weak, that depends on what is the value you are getting. So if rho is equal to +1, we say x and y are perfectly positively correlated. Okay, and if rho value is -1, there is a perfect correlation, and but negatively, x and y are negatively correlated. Okay, so any value like 0.9 plus 0.9 means x and y are positively correlated. Minus 0.7 means that x and y are negatively correlated. And if rho value is 0, then it means that there is no correlation between x and y. Okay. So now let us solve one problem and see how to calculate the correlation coefficient. So let me write the formula here. Rho is covariance between x and y divided by sigma x and sigma y. So covariance, how to calculate covariance? First let me take this part. Covariance of xy. This is mean xy minus mean of distribution x and mean of distribution y. So what is this mean? This mean is, you can see the joint distribution table, and already we have in previous videos we have uh, understood how to calculate this means. So once again, if you want me to write, I'll write it here. First probability is 0.1. So 0.1 is multiplied to corresponding x and corresponding y. So 1 into -3 plus next probability is 0.2. The corresponding x is 1, corresponding y is 2. So it is 1 into 2 into 0.2 plus the next probability is 0.2. Corresponding x is 1, y is 4 multiplied by 0.2 plus the next row, x value is 3, y value is -3 multiplied by 0.3 plus the next probability is 0.1. So x is 3, y is 2 multiplied by 0.1 plus the last probability is 0.1. So the x value is 3, y value is 4 multiplied by 0.1. So this value is going to be, if you calculate this, this is going to be 0. So mu xy, we got it as 0. Right? So that you can cross check with your calculations. Okay, you use your calculator or Excel, whatever it is. You use and calculate the mean of joint probability distribution. Once again, mean of joint probability distribution, the formula is sum of xi yj into corresponding probability. Okay, so mean we got it as 0 of joint probability distribution. Now let us calculate the mean of x and mean of y separately. So to calculate the mean of x and mean of y separately, we need the marginal distributions. What are marginal distributions? So marginal distribution is obtained just by summing the values. Okay. So x is taking the values 1 and 3, and the corresponding probabilities, first row sum is 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 0.1. So this will be 0.5, and second row is 0.3 plus 0.1 plus 0.1. This is again 0.5. So the mean is going to be 1 into 0.5. Yeah, I'll write the formula for you. Summation of xi into probabilities. So x value is 1, its probability is 0.5. Plus x value is 3, its probability is 0.5. So the mean is 2 here. So mu x is 2. Similarly, we will find the marginal distribution of y. Y is taking the values -3, 2 and 4. -3, 2 and 4. So the corresponding probability, y value first column sum is 0.3 plus 0.1, 0.4. Second column sum is 0.3, and third column sum is 0.3. So this will be 0.4, 0.3 and 0.3. So what's the mean of y? Mu y is summation of yi multiplied by its probability p of yi. Okay, or qi you can use. So this is minus 3 into 0.4 plus next value of y is 2, 2 into 0.3 plus 4 into 0.3. So this is going to be 0.6. So mu y is 0.6. So what's the covariance? Covariance is 0. Okay. So covariance is mu xy minus mu x into mu y. So what was mu xy? Mu xy we got 0, mu x is 2, mu y is 0.6. So 0 minus 2 multiplied by 0.6. So this will be minus 1.2. So covariance is minus 1.2. So covariance we got. Now the other two requirements. One is sigma x and the other is sigma y. What is sigma x? Sigma x is the standard deviation of variable x and sigma y is the standard deviation of variable y. Okay. So let me take one by one. First let me take x and x variable x probability distribution I'll take, and I'll find the standard deviation. So what is the standard deviation for, probability distribution of x? That you can check, we have done it here. X is taking the values 1, 3 and probability is 0.3, 0.5 and 0.5. So x is taking, values 1 and 3. 1 and 3 and probability of x is 0.5 and 0.5. And to find the standard deviation, first we need to get the variance. So variance of x. Once we get the variance, if we take the square root of variance, we will get the standard deviation. And what's the formula for variance? You can recall, it is summation xi square p of xi minus mean square. Okay. So xi square, first value of x is 1. So 1 square multiplied to its probability 0.5. Plus the second value of x is 3. So 3 square multiplied to its probability 0.5. Minus mean square. And what is the mean of x? Mean of x is 2. Okay. So this will be 2 square. So this is 0.5 plus 9 into, this is 4.5 minus 4. So variance is 1. Right. So since the variance is 1, standard deviation of x is square root of 1. So that means standard deviation of x is also 1. Alright. So we wanted covariance, we wanted sigma x and we wanted sigma y. So we have got covariance and sigma x. And the third requirement is sigma y. Okay. For which we would need the y distribution. What are the values of y? Minus 3, 2 and 4. Minus 3, 2 and 4 with probabilities 0.4, 0.3, 0.3. Minus 3, 2, 4, 0.4, 0.3 and 0.3 are the probabilities of y. So we need the standard deviation of sigma y, for which first let us calculate variance of y. Formula remains same, just the change of variable, that's all. So sum of, you can check this formula. So we are rewriting the same formula, yi square into probability of yi minus mean y square. Okay. So what are these? Minus 3 square multiplied by 0.4 plus 2 square multiplied by corresponding probability is 0.3 plus the next value of y is 4. So 4 square multiplied by 0.3. minus mean of y square. What is mean of y square? Mean of y is 0.6. Mean of y is 0.6. So this will be 0.6 square. So if you calculate this, you will get variance of y as 9.24. Okay. So calculation you can take care, the variance of y will be 9.24. So what will be sigma y? Sigma y is square root of 9.24, and square root of 9.24 you can calculate, or let me check. Square root of 9.24, 9.24 square root is 2.45. Okay, so it will be 2.45. So sorry, square root should be more than 9. Let me calculate it. So 9.23 square root is 3.04. Right. So we have got sigma x value, sigma y value, and also covariance. So once we have all these values, we can calculate what is the correlation. So correlation is rho is equal to covariance of x comma y divided by sigma x multiplied by sigma y. So what is the covariance? Covariance is minus 1.2 and divided by sigma x is 1. That's there in this blue box, and covariance is there in red box, that is minus 1.2, and in the green box you can check sigma y is 3.04. And if you calculate this, you will get minus 0.395. Okay, so the correlation coefficient, we got it as negative 0.395, which is negative correlation. Okay, and you can understand it as 39%, almost 39 to 40% correlation is there between x and y, and that too negative. Right. So hope you have understood the meaning of correlation and also how to calculate it. Very simple. You just have to remember, you want covariance and standard deviations of x and y. Right. So in the next class, I'll try to explain what is stochastic process and about the Markov chain. Okay. Thank you.